Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are zooming in and focusing in on a frequent question and comment that I get in at the channel, and that is really, why does the narcissist or psychopath succeed at the smear campaign? Why are others so willing or inept to confronting the narcissist or psychopath? And why don't they call them out on their hurting of others, their facade that they present to others, their need for power, when they split or triangulate, in other words, talk about people behind their back, scapegoat others, hurt others, make derogatory comments, kind of keep a lot of negative momentum. And when we talk about scapegoating, we're talking about really projecting of their pathological hurts, their issues onto another so that they don't have to deal with it. In other words, it's projecting a negativity onto a situation that does not always exist. In other words, they're trying to always fault somebody, blame shift, put the blame on somebody else for things that are going on, and they're constantly kind of judging, criticizing this person, really kind of picking on the weak guy, picking on the vulnerable, picking on mostly an individual who's going to present with qualities with which the narcissist or psychopath is lacking, particularly that of empathy. And I want to discuss that so you can understand it and not feel so much of a victim to this phenomenon. The phenomenon of narcissist splitting basically means where they gain social power, clout, or authority by negative validation of other people. In other words, gossip, negative talk. You might talk, it might be referred to as the water cooler talk about, like, let's say you're at a workplace and here come people talking negatively about this individual. Oh yeah, and then they're jabbing others, with the elbow. Yeah, this, that, and the other thing. And they're trying to get people on the bandwagon. And they come across as the authoritarian, as, the charmer, the joker, the sarcastic one. And they try to get a lot of negative energy, and negative momentum going, sort of, throwing this person under the bus. I think that's a very common colloquial term for this experience, where they're faulting another, and basically what they're doing is they're displacing attention from them and really their shortcomings, and just making all the attention go on to this negative person, which oftentimes has nothing to do with reality. It is what they call negative water cooler talk. They're trying to maintain a position of authority in that social dynamic, whether it's a family, whether it's a workplace, whether it's a community, or even a macrocosm at large. People will tend to scapegoat, split, and triangulate others just so that they can look better. And really, oftentimes that person has done nothing wrong. Oftentimes that person is very much a high integrity, ethical person. There's nothing really wrong with them. They're just trying to find, that little crevice, that little speck of blood that they can basically peck at and exploit. And when we talk about exploiting others, exploiting means that they're taking advantage of them, and really sort of their weakness, their vulnerability, or kind of rendering them helpless. In other words, if someone can split and sort of, get a number of people on their side, triangulate and, kind of jockey people around, then they have the power of 5, they have the power of 10, they have the power of 20. They have, a social backing, if you will. And so when we talk about the facade of the narcissist or a psychopath, they will oftentimes have this social facade, which they also sort of build up this status, this credibility, this this persona. A facade is a mask, and oftentimes this is very fake, superficial. It's a put on, it's a show. It's basically like somebody on stage, if you will. There's a real incongruence with how that person, will treat somebody, and then how they really are inside. And so you will see this disconnect, and realize that the narcissist as well as the psychopath need to have this social persona in order to have their power. In order to keep it alive, they need to feed on this supply source. They need to have these people on their side. They need to take sides. They need to create, they need to create sides. They need to create trouble. They need to create this drama, if you will. And so they're not able to, just be at an equal, a level playing field. They're going to make it clear very, very, very quickly that there's going to be a hierarchy in that dynamic. Whether, once again, it's a family, a spousal relationship, a workplace, a community, they're going to want to seek that higher position, even without credit where credit is due. That is one of the hallmark traits, is that there is that need to really sort of have this pathological facade or mask, and just sort of have that gather attention, while they will obtain that position by downgrading, diminishing, or dimming the light of others. And that is why you will see this, and people oftentimes feel a victim of this. They feel like it's not fair. I always feel like I'm thrown under the bus. I can't do anything right. Let them go. If you are in the midst of this, realize that oftentimes it's not going to be worth your energy to right the wrongs. These individuals are constantly wanting to be in control and wanting to be the one who is right. So even though you have a circumstance, a situation that you're in, and you have a valid reason for feeling the way that you do, making the decisions that you have, being who you are, they're going, just to create something basically out of thin air of why this person is wrong. They should not be spending money here. They should not be feeling this way. This and this, you're wrong. You should be, engaging this way socially. You should not be yourself here. They're always going to find a sort of wrong about other people, because remember, the narcissist or psychopath, in order to keep their authority, in order to keep their false ego, because they really don't have a real ego. A lot of people get that confused. They think the narcissist really is this, big ego personality. The ego is kind of like a big watch that they're going to put on. Is for show, but when they take it all down, they have no ego, they have no self, they have no self-esteem. That's why they need to create this big facade or persona, which is very disconnected, discongruent with the person who is inside and how they really feel. So that's why people say, wow, the mask dropped. I know the real person. I know the truth. And so that's, I think, what's the most painful thing, is that in your heart of hearts what is right, and it's something that you can't deny. It's something that you can't doubt. But the narcissist or psychopath will try to deny your truth and make you confused. Use the the gaslighting. You really don't know. You're way off base. They'll try to use the psychological manipulation tactic of creating doubt within your mind, and that's how they get control. Is that they try, they will use this this gaslighting to make you feel like that you're way off base. You didn't see that, you didn't feel that, you don't know that, and so they'll basically use that terminology when you do know. And you do know how you feel. You do know what was said. You do know what occurred. You do know how this transacted. You do know how this transpired with the relationship, or the finances, or the health, or the food, or whatever the situation is. You do know the truth, but they will tell you repeatedly and chronically, you don't know, you shouldn't do this, you were wrong for doing that. And even though you were perfectly justified, it creates this conflict consciousness. So realize that that is how they get power and control, is through causing this doubt in others, and getting the power of 5, 10 on their side through sort of the social validation, through their facade, through their mask. And don't feel overpowered. Don't feel diminished by this. Realize it's just a manipulation tool or tactic that a narcissistic personality disorder, or a psychopathic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder will use to try to gaslight and brainwash you and make you feel like you don't have a clear perception. Hold on to your truth and embrace your truth, even if this person is not able to validate it because of their lack of empathy and because of their inflated sense of self-importance and their need to control. It is Peace and Harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help you. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.